Ladies and gentlemen, in this RedGamingTech.com video, we've got some news, reportedly anyway, on the Xbox 720, also known as Durango, of course, controller. However, for those of you who may be expecting something vastly different from, say, the original Xbox 360 controller, or indeed even, say, the original Xbox controller, well, it appears that that's not the case, at least in this preview controller. For all intents and purposes, the analogs are the same positioning, the front buttons are the same, even the guide button, the triggers, everything is pretty much exactly how you would expect. However, strangely enough, the controller is supposedly a little smaller, not by much, but a little bit smaller than the previous one. It's also too early to tell, and there hasn't been any information whether the original buttons were improved any. For example, the original Xbox 360 pad often went under criticism with the D-pad, and indeed for fighting game fans in particular, or for those games that required a lot of D-pad movement, it wasn't very ideal. In some cases it felt somewhat unresponsive actually, although later pads did somewhat improve this, but it certainly wasn't crisp. It certainly didn't feel as good as, say, the PlayStation 3 controller, or even an older console like the Sega Saturn, which had a very, very good D-pad indeed. However, we don't know if that's been improved, but for anyone who's expecting, say, a screen like the Wii U controller or a touchpad like the PS4, it doesn't seem to be the case. Obviously, this has not been 100% confirmed. We're not actually seeing images of it yet. There are a couple of reasons for this, and that is that if they were to do this, there's a possibility that Microsoft would know who leaked the photo. And allow me to illustrate further. There are a series of radiating black and white stripes across the peripherals. And for those of you who are unfamiliar with what I mean by that, it simply means it looks kind of like a zebra pattern. And the theory behind this is that, remember how when the PlayStation 4 stuff started to get leaked, especially the controller images? And remember that all the controllers were completely black, and it's very, very, very hard to figure out who leaked what if the controller's black. It's not like there's, you know, a sticker on the thing that says Electronic Arts prototype or whatever, and even if there was, you could very easily Photoshop that out, of course. With something like this, it's a lot harder indeed. Obviously, there still are ways you could smudge it or whatever, but although this is obviously is not confirmed, it's certainly a theory behind there. So, if that is the case, then obviously no one wants to take the risk of really, really damaging the relationship with Microsoft. And obviously, there's a good possibility that end of this month, well, by the end of this month, we're going to have a lot more information from Microsoft themselves, as that's roughly the time period that we expect to hear an announcement from Microsoft regarding the Xbox 720. Anyway, this has been a fairly short video. There's not that much more to say other than the controller reportedly hasn't changed that much. I'm not really sure how I feel about that, to be honest. Personally speaking, I didn't really like the Wii U controller. Judging from a few friends who own one, including Spoony Kipper, who occasionally puts videos out on this channel, he was telling me only today, actually, that a lot of the games that him and his friends, as he has a few friends that own one as well, I'm referring to the Wii U, he actually says that the screen isn't that helpful in a lot of games, especially fast action-paced games, because basically it turns out that when you're looking down for the inventory, you kind of die. At least he's having that and his friends. I don't know, maybe some of you guys who play the Wii U a lot more are more familiar with it and more comfortable with it, but at least that's his findings. And to be honest, I kind of like the idea in some ways, but I also see that it's not a major thing. I'm not saying that that makes the controller bad. I'm just saying I don't think it's exactly a huge feature. The PlayStation 4's controller, however, the touchscreen is quite nice. And for all we know, maybe they will include it in the full release controller, or maybe that, you know, these specifications are very early build. It's very hard to know, of course, from leaks. Anyway, hopefully you've enjoyed the video, and I will see you soon. Take care, and bye for now.